Hey Kingdom, guess what? It's time for Bad Girls movie reviews. And in case you're stupid and haven't figured it out yet, I'm reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now I have been a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles since I was a tiny little girl. So naturally, when I found out that they were restarting the franchise with a new live-action movie, I was pretty excited. However, that excitement took a nosedive when I found out that Michael Bay was the director. Now this was 2 years ago. Since then, Nickelodeon Studios has purchased ownership of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, and they made sure that Bay did not fuck it up. 2 years ago, Michael Bay wanted to change what we knew about the Ninja Turtles since the beginning of time and to make them aliens. No, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, a jab is taken at Michael Bay's original pitch in the movie dialogue itself.
So they're aliens?
No, that's stupid. They're turtles.
Is there anything else we should know about them?
They're ninjas.
In the earliest stages of production, Michael Bay was demoted from director to producer, so he did not have the final say in shit. I want to make it very clear that this review contains a shit ton of spoilers. You've been warned. Now first, let's talk about the individual protagonists and antagonists of the movie and how they were portrayed in comparison to how they've been portrayed in previous multiverses of the Ninja Turtles. Let's start with Miss April O'Neil. April O'Neil is played by Megan Fox. When I watched the first teaser trailer, I was very upset to find out that Megan did not change her hair to fit the role of April. Turns out, it was just the lighting of that particular scene. Megan Fox has indeed gone brunette for the role, and she styled her hair to be a little wavy, just like the 1980s cartoon April O'Neil.
It is time to shed that pesky winter weight, and here with me today is celebrity fitness trainer Harley Pasternak.
However, unlike the 1980s cartoon April O'Neil, this April is not a damsel in distress. She actually gets shit done. She actually, more than once, risks her life to get either a good story for Channel 6 News,
Completely unseen.
What was that?
It's a camera flash.
or to help out her new friends, the Ninja Turtles. Now let's talk about Vernon, April O'Neil's camera guy. I was very surprised and caught completely off guard to see Vernon in this movie. Vernon has not been used, depicted, or heard from since the original 1980s cartoon.
Vernon!
And they depicted him pretty damn well. The actor looks like Vernon, and he acts like Vernon.
You're a talking turtle. And you're a human nerd. Now that we got that out of the way,
And he's like, okay, April, we'll, sure, this is fucking crazy, but we'll do this? Sure, why not?
4 turtles, one's fighting a robot samurai.
why not?
I know a lot of you probably don't give a flying fuck about Vernon, but I just thought that was really cool that they used him. Now let's talk about the Turtles. The Turtles are bigger than previous incarnations. Previously they've been maybe between 5 foot and 5'5". Now they are easily over 6 foot. Their shells are bigger and they're a lot more hulking and a lot more powerful. This is also the most human design the Ninja Turtles have ever had. Maybe a little too much human, especially with those lips. Those lips kind of make the Ninja Turtles activate the uncanny valley, where it just doesn't look right and it kind of makes you uncomfortable. They work really well for Leonardo and Raphael, because those guys have always been the tough ones, so it works for them to look tough. However, it does not work for Donatello or Michelangelo, the two scrawnier ones of the four. The new look just does not work for them, and I seriously could not get used to it for Don and Mikey. It just fucking creeped me out.
Do not say a word about this to anyone. If you do, we will find you.
Yeah, we'll find you. I'm sorry, that came across super creepy, okay? We will find you.
Next character we're going to talk about, Eric Sachs. When the trailers were coming out, we thought Sachs was the Shredder. He's not. He is not the Shredder. He is a scientist slash businessman that claims to be working in cooperation with the Shredder, but in my opinion, he's really calling the shots and using the Shredder. And I really don't feel good about that. I don't like that a character that has never been used in any other Ninja Turtles multiverse is now suddenly the main villain. Granted, the original live-action trilogy was guilty of putting unnecessary characters into the movies. For example, Danny in the first film.
My dad could care less about me.
Kino in the second movie.
No.
And Tatsu in both the first and the second movie.
They will pay!
But see, there's a difference. Danny, Kino, and Tatsu were all supporting characters. Eric Sachs is treated as the main villain. Therefore, he is a more important character than the Shredder. I don't like that. That is a serious downside to this movie. And since we're already talking about the Shredder, let's talk more about him. The Shredder is still Oroku Saki, a Japanese man with a scarred up face. And he is really, really skilled at martial arts. He actually does kick ass. However, in this movie, they totally overkilled it with the battle armor. He looks like fucking Megatron.
Shredder.
I really don't see why a man with supreme combat skills would even consider using something so excessive and so over the top. It's fucking loads power tools coming out of his hands and some kind of like magnetic field gadget where he can launch the blades and then using magnetism pull them back into his wrists? No, that is not the Shredder. That's fucking Megatron. No, the antagonists of this movie get the short end of the straw. Prepare to be very, very disappointed in them. Allow me to bring in a character that I truly feel was best represented in this movie better than any other Ninja Turtles multiverse. And that was Splinter. Sadly, Splinter is hardly seen in the trailer.
Up, Shredder. Together.
Which is a huge shame because this is the best he's ever looked and the most ass I've ever seen him kick. Only one that might rival it is the 2003 cartoon series Splinter.
No! You destroyed my family once. I will not allow that to happen again.
What I really, really loved about Splinter in this movie is that they kept in account that rats have prehensile tails. Splinter uses his tail a lot in this movie, and it adds to his ass-kicking abilities. Splinter vs. Shredder was one of the best highlights of the whole fucking movie. Unlike previous multiverses, this Splinter is very, very strict. If the Turtles disobey him, he enforces extreme punishments. Best Splinter ever. If you don't agree, good for you. I don't give a fuck, because I like him. Alright, that accounts for all characters of this movie that have any importance. Now let's talk about the plot. Now, in all multiverses of the Ninja Turtles, the mutation of the Turtles and Splinter has been a complete fluke, an accident. That is not the case in this movie. The 4 Turtles and Splinter are involved in an animal testing stage of a mutant antidote thing going on with the Foot Clan. They were being injected with the ooze, intentionally trying to see how it would affect them and if it could be used on people as an antidote to this deadly nerve agent that the Foot Clan planned to drop on New York fucking 2 decades later. What made this plotline interesting is that April knew the Turtles and Splinter when she was a little girl. She was allowed to roam around the lab where all this testing was going on. Why a 10-year-old girl would be permitted to do that, I don't know, but point is that she took care of Splinter, she took care of the 4 Turtles, she gave them the names after Renaissance painters, and she fed them pizza. A rat, I can see it. 4 Turtles eating pizza. Maybe the crust part, but the rest, I don't know. I've never tried to give pizza to a turtle. Maybe turtles would eat pizza if you give it to them, but I don't know. The reunion of April with the Turtles and Splinter was very emotional, and I think I'm okay with this plot line. However, I do have a problem with the fact that the Foot Clan planned to conquer the world using chemical warfare. No. No, no, no. The Foot Clan is a group of ninjas. This is not the Foot Clan. Again, the antagonists are totally ass-raped in this movie. No. No. Fuck you. However, if it just so happened that Eric Sachs was a brain with a face and tentacles inside of a robotic body, and his name coincidentally was Krang, then maybe I would have taken this better. Let's go back to the good guys, okay? This review's running awfully long. The only one of the Ninja Turtles to receive any kind of character development at all is Raphael. Raphael goes from being a cold badass to actually expressing that he gives a shit and cares deeply for his brothers. Now, with Raphael being my personal favorite Ninja Turtle, I'm okay with this. But I can see any other Ninja Turtle fans who happen to have a favorite being one of the other 3 Turtles, they would probably have a huge issue with this, and I would understand it if they did. The Ninja Turtles' personalities are also kept intact for this movie. They know when to be serious, they kick a lot of ass, but at the same time, these are teenagers who deep down just want to have some fun. If there was any one scene in the entire movie that expressed this more clearly than any other part, it was the elevator.
MC Mikey. MC.
Final thoughts. This is yet another Ninja Turtles multiverse. Look at it as that. Do not think that this will be like any of the cartoons or live action or comics you've ever read. Alright, this is a new story, but all in all, it still feels like the Ninja Turtles that we knew as children. I still very much prefer the live action movies of the early 90s over this one, but I will admit, having gone into the movie with very low expectations, I was surprised, and it was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Bad Girls Bitch Blog gives Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 6 out of 10 Heroes in a Half Shell. This has been Bad Girls Movie Reviews. Salute! But before I let you go, there is one more point that I feel like I should make. Ninja Turtles kicked the box office ass of Step It Up All In this past weekend, and I think that's worth something. Next time on Bad Girls Movie Reviews.